The good news is that we are wonderfully created in the image of God. The bad news is that we are terribly fallen. Both of those truths stand side by side at the root of so much of our frustration in life. In the Garden of Eden, God took his new creations, Adam and Eve, by the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and he said to them, you can eat any fruit in the garden, but not this fruit. This is the forbidden fruit. And the day you eat this fruit, you will surely die. And when you die, sin and death will come into the world. Wasn't too many years later that Adam and Eve grieved by the graveside of their son Abel, who was killed by their older son Cain in a fit of rage. And they saw the awful reality of what God said. And I remember my first encounter with death. I was about 7 years old, cowering in the corner of a kitchen, watching my foster father in a drunken rage beat my foster mother to death with a hammer. I've seen death many times since that day. Every time I pick up the newspaper, I read about death. Every time I turn on the television, I read about death in this world. I've been in the killing fields of the world, in the Sudan, in Uganda, in Rwanda, in Bosnia. I've seen what happens to people in a world of death. And I know that the reason for that death is complicated, and philosophers have debated it for generations, and people have asked the question, why is there death in this world? Well, the Bible's clear. We kill because we've been infected by sin. God is a God of life. God gives life, and in him there is abundant life. But when we are cut off from that life, when we're cut off from the Spirit of God, we begin to wither and die. We not only die, but we begin to kill others. We kill others physically. We kill others with our words, with our cruelty. We kill others by shutting them out and walling them off. And so we live in a world of death. Death that God never intended. When God came to the earth in the flesh, in the form of Jesus Christ, he stood one day at the tomb of his friend Lazarus, and he saw death in all of its raw ugliness. And the Bible says Jesus wept. In the original language, that word for weeping is angry tears. God in the flesh was angry because he didn't create this world to be in death. He weeps, the Bible says, over a single bird that falls out of the tree and dies. But through Jesus Christ, he gives us life, and life abundantly. And if you're living in the fear of death today, and in a world of death, turn to Jesus and reconnect with Jesus and his Spirit, because in him is life, and life more abundantly.